Okay, so it is Tuesday the 11th on June 2019 or 9012. Who knows? Who cares?
9012.
Doesn't matter. We are at Noah's Bagel and Jamba Juice right next door to a Starbucks, and this is the Starbucks where all sorts of things have happened with everyone in the world. Off the top of my head, kind of a quick breakdown. Right now we have 2 Jeep Rangers backwards in this parking lot, but they're spread. One's over this way and one's all the way over that way in their patterns of 2s. Still trying to create mental illness, but trying to sort of keep things spread to make it look like post-traumatic stress or something like that. And then a couple of other things that happened just now. Actually, first I'll talk about some of the prior things. Some of the prior things are security guards working with Mike Wexler lookalikes right over here by the entrance, pretending to be a bum. Which is all this is on video, me pointing out beforehand what's going on with the undercover people or the citizens working with the police, posing as random people all here for me. We've also had in the Jamba here, Kira Noir lookalikes. So we had a Mike Wexler lookalike here, and we had a Kira Noir, porn star Kira Noir, which followed me to the Starbucks in Canoga and Oxnard.
With the pink car?
What? No, that was the Angeline girl.
Oh.
Okay, here we have our Grand Black, one of our Grand Blacks. We have another Jeep Ranger coming in blue. There might be a big Jeep Ranger today. And the next day, Kira Noir followed me to Ralph's, pretending to be scared and this and that. And then having a lookalike here, all the way out here in Thousand Oaks. That was down at Woodland Hills. This is out in Thousand Oaks. Having lookalikes try to flip me out with the police. And 100 million other things. One guy threatening my life that I better not talk about what's being done to my life on video, of course. Like the rest of the things. And the illegal police operations and harassments with Jamba Juice employees, Noah's Bagel employees, Starbucks employees, and every other person and citizen and business worldwide. Now today arriving, a couple of things happened, which are blatantly obvious and on video. First is I'm supposed to meet Brittany here at 12:30 p.m. Brittany's late like usual, fashionably late like usual. But I know what's going to happen usually before it happens, so I decide not to come into the lot and notify Brittany, which she wasn't aware of this, tell me when you arrive. And what I did was I went up there on the elevated position, and I noticed at 12:40, 10 minutes after I was supposed to arrive here and sit here and wait for Brittany, a police in a big SUV, okay, we have our first Lennox truck here parking backwards. A police in an SUV pulls up, parks over there, across from 3 cars parked backwards in a row together, pointing at the Pier 1. He comes in here wherever, I don't know specifically where he goes in, probably the Starbucks. Also notice the flower print, remember that tactic? So if we see groups of these people. The police in the SUV obviously doesn't know I'm watching him up there and videoing him. So he comes at 12:40, and he goes into Starbucks, and then he's here for about 10 minutes, and then he leaves. Now Brittany arrives at about 12:50. I get here about 12:55. We sit here. Brittany needs to go into Pier 1 to get a fan or whatever, because it is like
99 degrees.
a million humid degrees. It's like Florida degrees out here. It's really weird. And right after Brittany goes in, the cop once again comes back a second time.
It was the same one. Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but he was wearing the same style SUV, I'm pretty sure. I mean, let's be realistic here, right? What are the chances? Even if it wasn't, you know they're here for me. Brittany goes in, he comes out, he walks by me. I'm not watching him because I don't want attention on myself. He probably went into Starbucks, either Starbucks or Jamba. Brittany comes out, he walks by the other way as Brittany's out here. Not only that, after he walks into Starbucks or wherever he went, the first person parked their car here, walked into Starbucks, kept honking their horn in pairs of twos over and over, trying to trigger me, and the Starbucks employee comes out trying to, now notice the green and black, because that's one of the tactics.
I remember you telling me
in
about that.
Wait Bros Plumbing, there's still other green and blacks here. So anyways, the Starbucks employee comes out pushing out the trash, which is one of their passive-aggressive tactics, to walk by me bringing out the trash while the cop arrives. If you understand what's going on, the cop's telling the people here and everywhere worldwide to keep passive-aggressively provoking me in repetition to try to get these reactions to set me up to arrest me and make it look like I'm a public nuisance or just randomly attacking people or things like this, right? So that has happened just right now at the location where a guy's threatened my life. I do not talk, and he's on video. About all my brother's things, about all the things going on, to throw and lock me in mental institutions. Why are the police helping out? I can't tell you, but right. Okay, so that's kind of today's overview and the overview of this location. Now, if I went into the specifics of every single time I've ever been here and everywhere else, it would be the same thing minute by minute. So I could talk about that. It would take 100,000 years. So now, let's see. Today, I think I wanted to sort of expand from my conversations last week, but I wanted to talk about Greg Waugh.
Oh yeah, we never got to
Yeah,
talk
we never
about
really
that.
spoke about Greg Waugh, my so-called friend from high school, and sorry, I'm in slow-mo. I didn't get much sleep, but I got a cool hat, so that's all that matters in life. No, okay, so if I'm kind of blah today, whatever. Forgive me. So Greg Waugh. When I was 16, my brother goes after Greg Waugh with a crowbar to try to bash his skull in because his girlfriend Jen Yang cheated on him and started dating my friend Greg. And my brother got mad, even though it was a long-distance relationship. My brother was all the way off in Boulder, Colorado, and all sorts of weird, strange things like Greg or Jen should hang out with Greg. He's a really good guy.
Right.
Well, how does he know he's a good guy? Greg's my friend. Greg's not my brother's friend. Greg didn't hang out with my brother. So that's odd, strange, weird fact number one. So that being said, I have the audio, Greg, and I don't think we're going to go through the whole thing, but I think we should go
Yeah,
through
let's
it
hear
a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, Brittany's heard it. I don't know.
I've heard part of it. Not
Did
the
you hear
entire-
both conversations?
Oh no, just one.
Okay, there's 2 days of conversations, but both are the same. Greg's constantly provoking me, trying to get reactions. Also, I want you to note the pink and blacks. There might be groups
yeah.
of those.
It was before consented or someone that worked.
Because
Oh yes.
normally you would think if you saved your friend's life that he would want to be there for you when the shit's hitting the fan and you're being hunted for it.
Right.
He's going to be the first one going, if it wasn't for Kevin, I'd be dead or possibly dead.
Well, yeah, you helped him a lot. See? Yeah.
Yeah, right, there's no
Prevented that
reason.
from happening.
So why am I on the phone with him and he keeps provoking me, trying to set me up, and more importantly, he didn't want to answer the phone. I called several times, I left several messages, he didn't want to call me back, and then luckily I accidentally called Jen Yang, his wife's phone, and she answered, and then she said, call me back and I'll put you on speaker.
Okay.
Right, so that was good. I lucked out on it.
I thought, did he call you too, right?
What?
Didn't he call you too?
No, he never.
Oh, I thought it was
He
him
never.
that
He
called.
didn't
Okay.
want to get back to me. He didn't want to call me, which is very strange.
Right.
Right,
Well, they
like you
sent
have
you
this
all
good
those
friend from high
things.
school. You built engines for him in his car. You lifted engines into his car for him. I mean, right?
Right, and he sent you a Christmas card or something, didn't he?
That's right.
That's your
So he sends me. He sent not me specifically. Where is it? Oh, here. He sends us, like a group of people, a a mailer thingy, and it says the Waugh family, where are they now? And ironically, I think the where are they now come from a reference to the movie Grosse Point Blank. What is he doing now, or where is he now? I don't know if you've seen the movie with what else is his name? From Better Off Dead.
I don't know.
Cusack, John Cusack.
Oh, okay.
And he's an assassin and whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes back to his high school reunion and he's having second thoughts about his life, whatever. And he meets his old high school girlfriend, which he ditched. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's why they put it in here. Not only that, I've never gotten a letter from Greg ever.
Right.
But 2018, after these arrests,
That's when you got that?
the end of December 2018, Christmas, this comes in the mail with Greg and his family and Jen Yang to all of his friends on the list, obviously. And I don't see it until like 4 months later because it's envelope buried under a stack of papers.
Right.
Seymour's telling me I should send letters. Brittany, what did you just write?
Like a Grand Black?
Thank you. So another Grand Black pants, gray shirt. This is also, by the way, the video I saw you where you said there's tons of Grand Black. Okay, so he sends this letter on a list, and what's interesting in the letter, there's one spot here that says Greg works ... capital A lots, LOT in all caps. Also notice the pink and blues and the horizontal stripes arriving because you can probably see a lot more horizontal stripes.
Okay.
And the capital LOT is actually a worldwide tactic directed at me, which hints and references about all the cars parked backwards in parking lots. And that actually starts at my father's office when I bought a lot of monitors for the office, a lot of used monitors for the office, which some of the people in the office were mad at me
For buying them?
for going out. They had these ancient, something like 15-inch monitors that were like 10 years old,
Yeah.
and I bought them like 22-inch.
That's nice of
Group
you.
I found a bunch of used 22-inch monitors, and they were actually mad at me. To the point where people like Marlene and Elsie Sandoval were making up lies that I had secret spy cameras in the monitors, things that didn't even make any sense, right?
No, that was like a nice thing of you to do.
Yeah, right. Playing this game like you're causing all sorts of trouble by trying to keep a happy work environment as an IT guy and ditching the ancient, outdated monitors, right? Doesn't even make any
Right.
sense.
No, not at all. That's a nice thing to do.
Okay, so I don't want to get too sidetracked. Hence, me going, okay, well, the shit's hit the fan. Dempsey's now claiming I threatened to kill all Starbucks customers.
Which is
Try to
ridiculous.
violate parole and make me look like an enemy of the state, which they've been doing my entire life. And why not call Greg and talk to him about the situation and get a direct confession? But unfortunately, my so-called good friend didn't want to get back to me. And when I got him on the phone, he didn't want to do an interview. Make some kind of statement. Yes, this did happen. Kevin's not crazy.
Right. That
mean-
makes sense.
What friends? I mean, talk about, these are my friends. These are the friends I grew up with. These are the friends I have. I'll break my back for you. I'll jump in the way of a crowbar. I'll build engines and put them in your car with you or for you.
When's the last time you talked to him before this?
He's interesting enough. When I worked in the office with Mike Huntley around 28, he just happened to call me up on the phone. And wanted to come down to the office, and then I went out to Valencia to see him and Jen. I hadn't seen him in since high school.
Right.
He went off to West Point, and then supposedly he got into some kind of IT company, just like I had Signet, an IT or internet host provider, where he's saying now that he worked for government internet-based companies. I'm not sure what's true. And now supposedly he works for a lock company, which is Jen's father's. But I always thought that Jen Yang's father was a judge. At least that's what I thought I heard. But first of all, you don't know who's
seen you since I was a young man.
you don't know who's being honest, lying then or now, right? So you don't know what's true or not. But I could swear that her father was a judge. So anyways, he didn't want to answer the phone, but then after I told him what's going on, he said call me back after the court date. Still playing the same games. Maybe we'll listen to those, maybe we won't.
He said that, like recently?
Yeah, like I talked to him right before the court date, and he said, well, call me after the court date and tell me what happened. But the whole time on the phone, he's going, man, which is one of the provoking tactics, and a whole bunch of other tactics, trying to leave out the context, or showing that he's taking part in the mental illness tactics, while playing these games like I'm on your side, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to admit to the situation, which doesn't make sense. Why would you not want to admit to a simple, yeah, your brother did come after me with a crowbar.
Right.
What's the problem? And they tried to play this game. I don't know, whatever. Here's him and his family. And it sucks that I have to do this to Greg because I thought he was a really good friend. But if he's going to throw me under the bus for doing things like saving his life, or there's a worldwide campaign to kill me over it, then, you know, what kind of friend is he, right? So, the envelope, I'm not lying, whatever. Okay, so let's hear a little of this. I don't think we have time to go through the whole thing. Well, I do have other videos online with the entire conversation.
Hello? Hi there. Yeah, I can hear you. Whoa. Hey, buddy. Hey.
Okay, so the first thing...
What?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
So loud. Where's it coming out of?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So,
Hey, your voice got deeper with age.
okay, so first he calls me buddy when we answer, and that's one of the tactics. That's one of the tactics with Rody Morales, while trying to plant drugs on me, like a bag of marijuana. It's one of the tactics with some of the Starbucks employees at Topanga and Ventura, where a girl kept calling me bud and buddy, trying to guilt me about Rody Morales planting trash bags of marijuana on me, or trying to set me up to make it look like I'm a drug dealer. So the first thing he says is buddy. Now remember, this is after I sort of talked to Jen, and she bent over. Jen actually did me the favor, not Greg. She made Greg do what he didn't want to do. She was in the car with Greg. She said, "Oh, I'll put him on speaker." So Jen actually saved my ass.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's all the stress and having kids and all that kind of crap, right? Yeah, that'll do it.
Why is that so loud?
I'm loud, he's quiet.
Right.
I don't know. You know, there's voice level.
Yeah.
Hello? Hi there. Yeah, I can hear you. Whoa. Hey, buddy. Hey. So what? Can you hear me? Yeah, oh my God, you can hear us okay? Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, you're...
Okay, so listen to the tone of his voice though, like gotcha, like I made you come to me. Which is strange, right? Like, am I missing something?
Got deeper with age. I don't know, man, maybe it's all the stress and having kids and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you notice he says man, and he keeps saying man over and over, and that's one of the worldwide tactics, is to man me to death, to try to trigger me into reactions, right? One of these thousands of tactics.
Yeah, that'll do it. So anyways, listen, I'm just gonna kind of cut to the chase really fast. There's some things going on you probably know because it's now worldwide, and my family has been going ballistic since I stopped Jason from coming after you with a crowbar when we were 16. And so my brother at that time gave me the blood is thicker than water speech and how I should spy on you and freaky things like that. And I told him, you know, I don't want any part of your crazy life weirdness crap. And after that, he basically threatened my life that he and his friends were going to put me in a mental institution. Turns out it actually was a serious threat with lots of money behind it, and the police have been paid off by my stepfather and people to hunt me since then, and they're trying to lock me away in jail cells and mental institutions for stopping you, or stopping Jason from going after you with a crowbar by jumping in front of him. You remember when that happened?
It was a long time ago.
I know.
Okay, so that's important.
So,
It's indirect, but that's a long time ago. Okay, so that's a confession. Yes, it did happen.
right.
He's not on the phone saying, Kevin, what are you talking about? He's not on the phone saying, Kevin, you're crazy and delusional.
No.
That was a long time
That was an
ago.
acknowledgement.
But he doesn't want to talk about it. Watch this.
Yeah, like, you had started dating Jen, and Jason got mad because Jen broke up with you. Or, sorry, Jason broke up with Jen. Or Jen broke up with Jason. Jason got mad. You came over my house. We were working on your Camaro or whatever. And he ran after you with a crowbar, and I jumped in front of him. Turns out, my family's been spewing lie after lie that I've somehow done something to Jen. I think you're on speaker, right, Jen? Saying,
Oh,
Yeah, there's two kids are back here.
oh, sorry, if you want me to...
Fine.
Okay, so anyways, Jen, they sent some Jens after me to play schizo games and try to flip me out and get coerced false confessions that they're trying to cover up. All sorts of freaky things with the psychology community and my family because my brother got mad, right? And I just wanted you to know this because they're threatening to lock me in jail possibly between 3 to 7 years, or giving me an ultimatum to self-check into a mental institution to cover up
What he said?
what Jason...
What?
He said something. I couldn't hear what he said.
I don't know. I think it was like a or something.
Oh.
It's not just that one thing, but that one thing's pretty significant with Jason. And so judges have been paid off, police have been paid off, like lead officer Sean Dinsey fabricating false police reports and freaky things like this. I've literally been hunted for 18 years, a lot longer, but finding out with Mike. Did you ever meet Mike Huntley? Remember when I can't remember if you came down to our office or you just called me.
Okay, so I just want you to sort of notice the All Blacks showing up.
Okay.
I met you in Valencia, or I saw
And I think the guy just honked his horn once or twice.
Jenna Valencia.
Oregon High, something like that, right? You were
Yeah,
in High?
yeah, close. Tarzan on Ventura Boulevard.
He's talking about our office on
In Van
Ventura
Nuys,
Boulevard.
is that what he said?
Well, he said in Van Nuys, but we were in
Oh.
Tarzana. That's kind of close.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I came down once. Right.
Okay, so Mike was originally...
Might you summon a bug or something like that?
Yeah,
Bug?
yeah, yellow bug.
Or something?
Yeah, Paul Humphrey and Mike Huntley both had the bugs.
Okay.
Mike Huntley was originally my brother Jason's friend. And
All right.
Mike...
Okay, so Graham Black just showed up, and notice how this lady has horizontal stripes on her pants? That's one of the tactics, too. So we've had 3 Graham Blacks, and you'll also notice that the foot traffic is increasing. It's 146. The foot traffic is increasing. The clothing colors are starting to ramp up. That guy honked his horn twice. It's still very mellow, not like it usually is. But you're seeing this kind of sort of a ramp up. But anyways, okay, so just...
He called me up. He had been stalking me all that time. I didn't know it. He called me up from University of Colorado wanting me to move back and start a company with him, and my family putting on the pure pressure to get me close to him and my father. within my father's office, all these freaky things. And at 29, something like 6 years after being in business with him, he flipped. He did a 180. Instead of being a friend that wants to make money, it was, I've given you enough rope to hang you. We're using the system against you with the police. Telling me that he's going to make me mentally ill and rid me of the world, things like this, right? Yeah, endless like death threat after death threat, things that I couldn't comprehend were going on, but he links back to Jason and me jumping in the way of the crowbar, and then sort of following me around going, if he figures it out, you know, often, right? And so, the police have actually been hunting me, and my family seem to be paying them off, like Arnold Silver in Canada, and they're trying to cover it up and make me look crazy just for what I know. Does that make sense?
A little bit. I mean, yeah, families are crazy. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, not this crazy, but...
Like, families are crazy. I mean, that's...
Right.
You know.
Pretty right. Pretty extreme.
Yeah. So I just...
Okay, so look, here's another old black. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, 2 old blacks in about 5 minutes, so we'll probably see more.
wanted you to know because I don't know if they get what they want, if they lock me away for 7 years. They're threatening that I have a court date, the 23rd.
That was last month, right?
On
Yeah, that was my court date.
In May.
In May, yeah.
summary probation hearing because they fabricated all the charges. My lawyer, even though I have photos and videos proving my innocence, my lawyer refused to use it, saying it's inadmissible as evidence and lying and trying to cover it up. The jury was jury tampered. The judges clearly knew who I was because they were taking part in the provokings, right, showing they knew who I was. So everyone was paid off. And so I have my first year ending summary probation from these falsified charges, which Jen probably knows, because I think her father's a judge, right? That
Oh, yeah, no, actually, no.
yeah, so if I
How do
get
you spell?
Yeah, she said he just weirdly said like she knows I didn't
What
really
did he
make out
say?
like she knows all that or she knows. But later on, he told me that
He's
on
not
the
a
next
judge?
phone call, he said her father
Here, you wanted to shoot.
isn't a judge or whatever. You know, that's something that would need to be researched. But interesting enough, they had an Asian girl see a ninja tank in University of Colorado stalk me off IRC, an Asian girl. Her father was also supposedly a judge.
Really?
Right? Another Asian girl,
Did
right?
he
So
just acknowledge that she was? Or he was?
it sounded like he just
I
did, but
thought
in the
so,
next call
but-
he said he isn't.
Okay.
So, you know, but as you can see here, he doesn't want me knowing anything truthful. He doesn't want
Right.
to stand up for me. Guy that saved his life, right?
Right, no.
boy while being attacked all day for a year's end and follow my probation rules. Supposedly they can say, okay, the case is over, but what's happening is Lead Officer Sean Dinsey, being paid off, is contacting Starbucks and coffee shop employees, and when they realize that I got endless proof on video, Sean Dinsey is now claiming that I threatened to kill all Starbucks customers, trying to make me like the enemy of the state, right? And he's shifting from, first it was I'm the next Vegas shooter, then it was I was the next Unabomber, now it's fabrications that I threatened to kill all Starbucks customers, trying to lock me away for life, with statements on his Facebook account, how do we force people into mental institutions. My point is, I have video footage showing that when I walked in, when that police report was made, that I did nothing at all but talking to a camera about my life, right? With proof of these incidences. And I'm just calling you, I guess, to let you know what's going on, because I guess jumping in front of that crowbar, this is the result of my life, and it's kind of related to you. So,
That's crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
yeah, it's insane.
Right. See how he sort of emphasizes that's crazy, man, right? Like,
Yeah, man.
I mean, you with your psychology degree, you could probably read right through that. The verbal
Well, he
behaviors,
just really didn't acknowledge a whole lot at all.
right? Yeah, like yeah, whatever, Kevin. You know, who cares? That
That's
was
crazy.
then, and who cares, man? And like we're laughing at you, right?
Just, yeah, it's just like,
Like he's
That's a
belittling
blanket
and he's
statement.
laughing and he's trying to trigger me.
well, he's definitely not acknowledging what you just said.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
That's crazy.
you don't mind if they're gonna lock me away for life for jumping in front of a crowbar for you or something.
Right. What
It
would
doesn't
you-
matter to you because you're married with kids and you have a good life, right? It's
What were you hoping he would say?
well, listen, okay, I think we all understand the dynamics of friendships or relationships. And if you have a friend and you saved his life, and I can't tell you if I actually saved his life or not.
Well, you saved some damages, at least.
All I can tell you is whether my brother was really going to hurt him, whether he wasn't, whether my brother was trying to set me up, which I know he
Protected.
was. I believe, and I'll get into this more after the call, I believe my brother was never going to do anything to Greg, and I believe Greg actually knew what was going on before he came over to my house, what my brother was going to do to try to set me up,
Right.
to see if I'm the next thug. And they failed like usual.
Of course they did. 'cause
Um,
that's not you.
But the point is, if someone's really your friend,
They'd be like, what
and you
did I
do something,
man?
someone's coming after him with a crowbar. Now, you don't know the seriousness of it. You just know that swinging with crowbars through the air are bad things. And so you're going to jump in the way of it. And if you're really friends with someone, I should say if that person's really friends with you, also known as the next flower print, if that person is friends with you and you did that for them, they're going to be pretty much
Thankful.
foreverly in debt. Also, notice the purple and black, I think. Oh, she says purple. But there was another purple and black. That's one of the tags, which actually starts from your secretary in your office. If someone jumps in front of a crowbar for you, you're always going to be there for them.
Well, you're
Especially
being
if,
grateful forever, yeah.
if they're being hunted for it, they're going to be the first ones to say, that guy jumped in front of the damn crowbar for me.
Right.
Not whatever, just die. Just go to jail, just die, I don't care. That was then, I'm married now. Right?
Exactly.
Bye-bye, just die, whatever.
No, exactly.
Right?
Right.
I mean, so that's strange behavior. I don't want to go on video, I don't want to
Well,
talk
I mean,
about
if
it.
it was reversed and he had jumped in front of it for you,
I'd be
you'd
there. I'd be
very
like, shit,
different.
man. I mean, I remember that like it was yesterday, and what do you need from me?
Right.
That's how I'd be. And I think that most people would be like that.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to look at the situation and go, what is going on here? What's really going on? And so we're going to try to talk. I think this is fairly close to done. So let's just finish this up.
I thought my family's going apeshit ballistic.
What is
Where are you now? I mean, your number came up as New York. Are you in New York?
No, I'm in Woodland Hills.
Oh, all right.
It's just a New York number, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get any number associated with your phones now. It doesn't matter. You just pick one. Yeah. So, I don't know. I had an idea. I don't know if you want to do it. Like, sit down for like an hour and talk about that incident on camera, which would actually be helpful to me because they're trying to cover it all up. But that's totally up to you.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Maybe let me think about it. Keep chatting for a while. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure some things out.
Right? Like, I hear
I
you,
don't
man.
know,
Like, figure
man.
things. What's he even talking about there?
I don't know.
First of all, he's saying, I hear you, man. Like, once again, with the mans.
Yeah.
Which my entire neighborhood and worldwide are told to keep saying man in sentences over and over. But we're work what out? It's strange.
So what do you think his hesitancy is? Because
Well,
honestly,
I think
you
I
would-
say it right here. But
Okay, well, I'm totally game with that, but you gotta hurry on that decision because the 23rd, they could get what they want. I can't tell you what's gonna happen. For all I know, I'm gonna go
okay, so look, who's the next striper?
for it and they're gonna say, okay, this thing's over, but it could go the opposite direction. So I'm putting you
The green and black.
The black.
Kind
Yeah.
of, sort of here.
on kind of. I don't know. I'm just letting you know. So if the shit hits the fan, the truth is out there, and I think that's important. That I'm being hunted for no reason. Yeah. So.
I hear you, man.
Yeah. So if you wanna.
Once again, we got the man.
I don't know if you want to talk about that or call me back or
Yeah, I'll give you a call back for sure.
Okay.
Call back for sure.
And I just want to make sure, Jen, you're there, right? Okay, so some of the claims are
She's next all black.
Yeah. Did she say anything?
Four all black. Next green and black.
Did Jen say something?
She just said, "Yeah, I'm here" or
Oh,
something.
I've done something to you or I made you break up with Jason. I just want to clarify that, you know, that's obviously not true, but you understand that, or, you know, right? Unless you have an opposing argument, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's probably safer, Jen, that, you know, we were in charge of our own lives here. We didn't need anybody to do anything.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's how
Okay, wait. This is important.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes being accused of something like sabotaging their relationship or something like so many others, Jen was on the phone right there. This is important. Jen was on the phone right there. She did not have a counter argument.
Right.
Therefore, it's obvious that there's nothing I've done to Jen.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just for the record, so everyone understands
No,
that.
you didn't. I know that.
If there was really a truthful accusation that I sabotaged Jason's relationship,
No.
she would have spoken out right there.
Right.
people think, but my mother's freaking out about NASA and hinting that I somehow did something to Jen, or, you know, like, that's this craziness. But, yeah. And then they said Jen has after me and several other Jens after me trying to get both confessions. Just freaky things like this, right?
Alright, man.
Alright, so,
No doubt about it. Wild stuff.
yeah,
That's what
well,
wild stuff.
See, listen to the way he's talking. It's like,
it's not my fault, so, if you want to do that, give me a call, or you want to chat about that, give me a call. I'm just giving you a heads up.
I'll call
Alright,
you.
alright.
I'll give you a call, man.
Okay, thanks, bro. Alright.
Alright, man.
Okay.
It's a long time.
Yeah, okay, I know it has. It's been 18 years, right? Oh, wait, so what are you doing now? I mean, are you still working for, I think you're working, like, for an internet company, right?
Yeah, I kind of punched out of that a while ago, and so manufacturing padlocks at this point. So
Padlocks.
Oh, really? Manufacturing? Are they your locks?
Right. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I can't remember. You went off to West Point. What was your degree at West Point?
I did double E. Double E stuff.
Double E?
Computer, electrical engineering.
Oh, electrical. Oh, really? So how did you get into the logs from electrical engineering?
Always long stories, right?
Yeah, I know.
Long stories. Wow.
So you went.
I'm gonna punch, but I gotta punch because we're about where we need to be.
Okay.
So we're driving. So I'll call you back though.
Okay, definitely. I'd appreciate that, and it's good to hear your voice.
I take it this number, this 917-435-0286, a good number?
Yeah, that's my number.
Oh, shit, we can lose me, man.
Yeah, that's my number. Can you hear me?
okay, so anyways,
Did he call you
first
back?
of all, listen to the cryptic. The man's, I got a punch. He's hinting about the accusations that I supposedly punched Jen Hess with a mask on.
What?
Yeah, Jen Hess calls me up on the phone and she says some guy punched me with a mask on.
Oh
She
my
comes
God.
over my house the next day, no bruises or anything.
Yeah.
I go, there's no
Yeah.
bruises or anything. She said, oh,
Yeah.
it's makeup.
Right.
And I was like, what is this crazy? By the way, her name wasn't Jen. She was running around saying her name was Jessie, working with Jessie Jane, the porn star, to stalk me in it. And she was blonde, just like Jessie Jane. But anyways,
Oh my gosh.
and then pretending that I somehow made her schizophrenic and ruined her life with my father. Yeah, just pure craziness.
That's
Um,
yeah.
But So, and then after that, for some reason, the world was told that I punched her.
Which you would never do. Ever.
Correct, but you see the cover-up operations. We're sending these people after you,
And then she comes
and then we're
over
covering it
and-
up. We're sending the next
Right.
person after you, then we're covering it up.
Right.
Now we have Greg on the phone, and he's hinting that I somehow did something to Jen Hess.
He was just being very weird.
And when he's talking, he's avoiding the issues.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Just like my mother and everyone else, right? They're
He's
sort of
trying
playing
to-
these games like we're trying to cover it up.
I'm sorry. Very
Yeah.
vague and very broad and not a lot of words. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you want get some more ice? Do you want anything? Ice or anything?
Okay, hold on. No.
I'll hold 2 seconds. Right.
Okay.
No ice.
Okay, good, because I didn't successfully stop the camera.
Oh, we're still there.
Okay, so where were we? So Jen Hess, you can see the connected events. Okay, first of all, Jen Yang, I somehow supposedly did something to Jen Yang, according to these outside strangers in my family.
Which one is he married to? Jen Hess?
Jen Yang.
Okay.
Jen Yang, the Asian girl, the cheerleader from high school my brother was dating.
Right. Okay.
The Asian cheerleader, and I always thought, I'm not 100% sure, that her father was a judge.
Yeah.
Okay, so then all the Jens come into my life, and the Jen Hesses stalking me. Remember, my brother now is married to Jen Pilchik. Jen Pilchik. And she's sort of
There's a lot
stalking
of
me
Jens.
with him, right?
Right.
And her father, the court reporter.
And they're in Florida, right?
They're in Florida.
Okay.
And so, now when I'm talking to Greg, you can hear the connected events, how Greg is sending me innuendos about punching Jen Hess.
What did he say?
But how would Greg know Jen Hess?
Right.
He didn't say anything direct. He said, I got a punch. And these things are done in repetition from stranger to stranger until you pick up on the messages, right? Or you have women at Starbucks hitting you, or your friend Tom Farley saying that you're a woman beater.
Was there a woman that hit you at Starbucks? I didn't see that.
What?
A woman at Starbucks that hit you?
Yeah, there is. I never...
Oh, I didn't know
I'm
that.
too overloaded with videos of those types of things, so I never got to editing it.
Okay.
It's just in the archive of 15 terabytes of these things, right?
Oh my gosh, I know.
But my point is that Greg has been out of my life since 16 or 18.
It's been 18 years, right?
I
Since
turned
you
18.
when?
I turned 18. 18, 19, went off to college. He
Yeah.
went off to college. So how would Greg know about Jen Hess
You wouldn't.
like anyone else in the country?
Right.
And if I hop in my car, if I hop in an airplane and fly to Wisconsin, the first person I see is going to be mad at me about Jen Hess. Okay, so that's what everyone's pretending isn't happening.
Right.
The illegal operations, the propaganda, in secret. Okay, so everything that Greg, he doesn't want, he's not on my side. I say if I did something to Jen, well, we can talk about this, talk about what? But I'm not going to talk about it. He hints got a punch about Jen Hess. All these things, but at no point does he say, Kevin, you fucking jumped in front of a crowbar for me. Your actions speak louder than your words, no matter what's said about you.
Right.
Right? It doesn't matter what's said about me. It's my actions.
Did he
My
call-
actions are that I've always been
protect you?
a
Protected
good
him.
friend to Greg, just like everyone else.
Right.
And those are my actions. It doesn't matter what's said about me. You could say that I have
No, not at
6
all.
arms and came from the planet Ogo. It doesn't matter. What matters is I'm here on Earth.
Right. And you're a good person. You protect people. You protected your friend. And
Yeah.
yourself getting the other process. Right.
Stripes. Okay, more stripes. More
Did,
horizontal stripes.
did he ever call you?
No, what happened was he said, call me back after the court date. And I called him back after the court date, told him what happened. We talked for about an hour.
Okay.
And we just said, don't talk about our past doesn't matter, and people do things, and this and that. Trying to shirk all convo about
Right.
the past. And that was kind of it. And I just said, okay, well, if you want to do the interview or whatever, and he just clearly, you can see right there,
He didn't want to.
I don't want to stand up for my friend Kevin. I'm not on your side.
Did you record the other conversation?
I did. It's longer, and maybe we'll go
That's
through it.
okay,
It's
I'm
not
just
as
curious.
important because it's just more sporadic.
Yeah.
Of what you've seen here is just man, hinting messages, and I don't want to talk about anything of importance.
Right.
Or say, but what's more important is now we have to question why. Why? What's going on here? This is what's most important. What's going on here that Greg has guilt? Is that a fair conclusion?
Yeah, well, he definitely was avoiding talking about it.
Correct. So if I'm the bad guy and I have something to hide, then why do I want to talk about it and he doesn't? Okay, so think about this, and we've had this conversation in your office. Why would Greg not want to talk about me jumping in front of a crowbar? For him. There's no reason.
No.
Now, okay, first you asked the question earlier, why wouldn't Greg want to do an interview?
Yeah.
Okay, now I can actually come up with several reasons.
I mean,
First, he's what, 50, 48, I don't know, 46. He's got a family, kids, a career.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to end up on a website called kevinperlmantarget.com with a worldwide conspiracy to kill me.
right.
When you're interviewing for jobs, that doesn't look good. I totally get that.
right.
But at the same time, he's showing that he's already involved with the mans and this and that.
And, yeah.
And it's a situation where they're trying to lock me away
Right. It's
for saving his life, where he really should be like,
Exactly. This is
they're going to lock away my friend and throw away the key because he jumped in front of a crowbar for me. That's
Right.
pretty fucked up. Even if his reputation's on the line, the bottom line is his reputation's still on the goddamn line
right.
because he's in this whether he likes it or not. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And he stays with his kids in the back. Do you think that played into why he was being weird at all, or no?
Honestly, I think the real reason,
Yeah.
we've had this discussion, I don't know if you can remember it, is the consistent behavior of people trying to set me up and give me disinformation and try to make me think, just like my father said, Kevin, you don't know how the world works. You think differently, which is all bullshit. Cover up disinformation. How do I think differently? Well, he can't answer the question, and nobody can.
Right. That's irrelevant.
Because, he's trying to make me think that I'm the bad guy, that I did something wrong.
Right.
But
you didn't.
in vague format. But the bottom line is, their behavior, all of them, from 5 years old till now, have been consistent with mass groups to try to peer pressure me into situations.
Right.
So,
And you got blamed for everything.
and I
even
get
as a
blamed for
kid.
everything, and anything that anyone does is thrown on me. Growing up and now.
Right.
Even if they're strangers, even if I don't even know. Even if 4 days ago someone came here and robbed that store, it would be pinned on me. Just for showing up and buying a coffee.
That's crazy.
Um,
You don't even live right here. You know? It's
Correct.
just,
This will happen anywhere in the
logically,
world.
Yeah.
Pure pressure Kevin into a crime to lock him away in jail cells or mental institutions. Okay? Has been going on since 5 years old. So let's break this down. My brother's dating a cheerleader named Jenny A. in high school. He graduates. She's a year younger.
Okay. Oh, in your grade?
No,
Are you a year?
well, a year younger than him. Not my grade though.
How old? Is he 2 years older?
He's 2 years older.
Okay,
and I was still
sorry.
back a grade, so that might be 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So she was a grade younger. They went off to college. Jason says hang out with Greg. He's a really good guy. But Jason's not friends with Greg. How would Jason know if Greg's a good guy?
Was he telling her to or you to?
He's telling her
Her
to,
to, okay.
but he's also telling me.
Okay.
Greg's a good guy. I want Jen to hang out with him.
Yeah.
That's strange. That doesn't make
No, it
sense.
doesn't make sense at all.
Okay?
Actually.
Greg wasn't friends with my brother.
Right. And why would he want his girlfriend to know with another dude? In the
Correct.
First, I
You
don't
wouldn't
know,
say
it's
it.
kind of odd.
It's very rare that you would say that. I'm not going to say
Very
you would,
rare.
but I'm going to say it's very
Yeah.
rare. But more importantly, Jason wasn't friends with
didn't even know him.
Greg. Just like when my father's running around accusing me of stealing medication out of his office, and then saying it was Patty Guggen, and then saying it was me or whatever, wanting me to watch Patty Guggen on videos, supposedly a person with a hood on, stealing a box of medication out of his office. Orthopedic surgeons don't have medication in their office. Pharmacists have medication.
Right.
It's the same type of thing. This playoff bullshit. Okay, so then supposedly Greg's possibly kissing Jen Yang and Tom Hook stage wagon. My brother gets mad at me because I might know or have a theory, or my friends have a theory, and it's kind of like this hearsay-ish thing, and I'm too busy living my own life to really give a shit about
Well, yeah.
insignificant
you're not focused
things.
on that at all.
And so my brother's mad at me for not spying on Greg for him.
Blood thicker than water, is that
And stopping him from going after him with the crowbar with the mobster blood is thicker than water speech. And then they're going to hunt me down the rest of my life with worldwide support, which doesn't make any sense.
Zero cents.
Okay, 0
made.
cents. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's analyze it. What makes more sense based on common sense? Was my brother really going after Greg Waugh with a crowbar? Or did Greg and my brother and Jen get together and say, we want to prove that Kevin's violent or make Kevin look violent, so we're going to try to get you to take part. Like, it's kind of like the Clockwork Orange thing, right?
Right.
Like, someone starts swinging a crowbar at someone and you go, oh, that's fun, I'll help. Right? But I didn't make that decision. I jumped in the way.
Exactly. You did the
And
right
then
thing.
my brother got mad and he gave me the blood is thicker than water speech. Well, you need to help me bash people's skulls in with crowbars and spy on people for me.
Right. You need to do
And I
it
said
wrong.
no, and then there's worldwide support to remove me from society, with the father running around saying, you know what you did, and a mother going, your past caught up with you, but can't specifically tell me what.
Nobody can tell you specifically anything.
Correct. Is it fair to say that what they were really trying to do, all of them, with Greg and Jen, was to get me to go after Greg with my brother so that my family could say I went after my friend with a crowbar?
I mean, I could see that, yeah. Because of everything else, too. Like,
Yeah.
everything got pinned on you. They try
Yeah.
to bring you into everything.
Each one of these things are trying to manipulate me
Right.
into a situation.
I mean, how long did it take you to, like, kind of come to that realization? Because you don't want, I mean, at least I wouldn't want to believe that at first, you know? Like, it wouldn't make, but eventually, like you said, that's what makes it.
I probably around 38 or something when I was really
But it took a long time.
watching.
Yeah.
I was piecing all the situations together and watching the setups and watching pin everything on me. For example,
Everything.
12 years old, neighbor above me, Navi, said let's throw rocks in Darren Mosell's pool to make splashes to set me up to make it look like I hate my brother's writer friend Darren Mosell. Right?
Just like these innocent things that kids do.
Yeah, Eric Johnson saying, Kevin, come with me, I want to blow up Darren Light's mailbox with an M80. Look what Kevin
Right.
did.
Blaming it on you.
Yeah, and these things are just endless trying to make me the bad seed, right? And so, if you have 1,000 of these, you can pretty much say that what's 1,001?
Right.
The same thing.
Right. No, that's what I was.
Oh, okay, that's what I want to say. The mailer. I think I forgot about it. I was sort of starting to get into this. When we were in the office,
The mailer?
this mailer with Greg Waugh,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't figure out. We were in your office with Seymour, my lawyer,
Oh,
and I said, I've contacted my old lawyer, Jonathan Franklin,
yeah. I remember
but
that.
he doesn't want to get me the reports for the 2013 arrest,
Right.
which will show that he's arresting me for things like sitting on the sidewalk, or supposedly I battered someone by throwing a card at them, showing that Dincy will write up whatever he wants,
Right.
and things that don't matter. And he says, well, write him a letter.
Right.
In your
An
office.
email? Didn't he say email? Or did
No,
he
he
say
said a letter.
Okay.
And I was trying to figure that out. I didn't ask him because we were talking about so much.
Yeah, trying to make
But-
sense of it.
Why did he want me to write? That didn't make sense. What's the letter? Why would I write a lawyer? Like, he's trying to sort of
Like
set me up into...
What is it called? Like an official letter or request or something?
But it's to a lawyer.
No, I get what
It
you're
doesn't make
saying.
sense.
No, you're
It's,
right.
Hey, Jonathan, I need you to get me this paperwork.
Right.
Well, I don't have time. I can't get it. Okay, then Seymour, write him a letter. What's that going to do?
Right.
I mean, but right around the same time, this letter came.
Okay.
Now, they have this habit of doing these things, like they'll do something to me, and then someone will manipulate me,
And do
try to get me to
thing.
do something to someone else as if I'm schizo.
Okay.
Okay, example. Topanga Ventura Starbucks, once they write up a fraudulent letter saying I did all these things and they want me to
Right.
sign it.
Right.
Right? Well, Starbucks would never do that to anyone else. Tell you
Doesn't
you have
make
to sign
sense.
confessions and things like this.
No.
If you don't sign this, you can't come here trying to blackmail me into signing
But then
false
they said you
confessions.
couldn't anyway.
Then we have Greg Koenig, like a couple weeks later, a month later, saying if you write a letter stating that we're doing all these things, I'll sign it, we'll stop.
Who's Greg Waugh?
Remember the neighbor in 2 that's putting cat shit on my car?
Oh my gosh.
And remember on
yes.
video he says,
He
write
was
me a
so
letter?
rude. Yeah. I
Well,
do.
why did he say write me a letter? He's not going to sign a letter.
No, he won't.
Okay, do you think he would? The guy that slashed my tires, slashed my
There's
top.
no way he was shoving paper in your exhaust pipe when you
Yeah,
down there.
and then he tells me to write him a letter,
Right.
and they'll sign it.
Yeah, like an
Why do
agreement
you think he said that
to
right after Starbucks says that they wrote this up and they want me to sign this
Right.
and make me look schizo?
It's just because he wasn't
Okay?
going to sign that letter.
So now Seymour's saying, Kevin, write him a letter.
Okay.
Right
To play
after
into
this
it.
letter comes, right?
Yes.
They're trying to make me look schizo. Kevin, do this, and you do it. Go look. See, I told you, Kevin's crazy.
Right.
Right? The manipulation.
Yeah. All the people.
Okay, in my notes, Greg man 100 times.
Who's Greg Man?
No, Greg saying man.
Oh, and then the thing on the bottom. Oh, that was the letter. Okay.
Greg
letters
now
after
wanting to
Greg.
help his own friend. Oh, not wanting to help his own friend. Showing involvement.
Yeah.
Seymour wanting to send a letter. Okay.
Is that I read that differently. I thought that meant that he wanted you to send a letter after Greg, like to Greg, to like come on your
No,
behalf
it
or
was to
something.
Jonathan. Oh, there we have another Grand Black. It was like the 4th, whatever. So, sorry, I'm tired.
Are you hot?
I'm hot and I'm tired. Thank you, there we go.
See?
So,
Another.
another Grand Black.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I totally lost my train of
That's
thought.
okay. You were talking about sending a letter
Letters,
after.
whatever. So you get the idea, right? It's all just people taking turns on me in anger and rage and not addressing the issue of what the hell is going on.
Right.
Okay, there were some questions, things we were talking about last week, which I kind of wanted to expand on.
What time is it? I don't even know.
2:20.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Last week you were talking about when I first found out at 29, and the big scam or question. People play this game like I think I'm a mobster or mob boss because I didn't go to the police at 29, as if you could.
Right.
I
I'd be
mean-
terrified, you know.
But what would you even say?
Exactly. That's what I'd be terrified of. Because no matter what I said, I feel like they wouldn't believe me or look at me like think I'm
Yeah,
nuts or
and when
whatever.
I did go to the police with proof and evidence, what did they say?
Yeah.
Right, you
They
don't
didn't
talk.
help you.
So-
So that's a valid concern.
It's
that,
fair to say if you went in with a hard drive full of proof,
Right.
and they're not going to help you with the proof, they sure as hell weren't going to help you before the proof, right? But they try to spin it like
You should have
everything
come in
else.
sooner or whatever.
What?
Right. Like you should have called sooner. You should
Yeah.
have, like,
So this is their argument. Because you didn't call at 29, you did this to your life. That doesn't make sense.
You were putting puzzle pieces together.
Yeah, but it still does,
No.
the argument doesn't make sense.
No.
It's
not
like,
at all.
look, if someone rapes you and you don't instantly go in, and let's say you go in 5 years later,
Right.
well,
Well,
we're not going to help you and do anything because you did this in your own life by not coming to us. And since people are following you from place to place, and just note the purple and blacks
Yeah.
again. Well, people are trying to kill you, saying you're a snitch, you're dead.
Right.
We're not going to help you because you waited. That doesn't make any sense. So you committed the waiting crime, so we're not going to help you, and we don't care that they did this to you, right?
No, I mean, there's certain things that, can't be like in the other situation you just were talking about. But like, it's not easy to go in after you've been attacked or anything like that. You're scared, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know who's going to help you, who won't. You don't know what to do.
And now let's get to, and I'm glad you said that, because now this is the part I wanted to expand on that I didn't get to last week.
Yeah.
I was being harassed by the police as well. Okay? Police were pulling me over, giving me tickets, and while they were giving me tickets, they were harassing me with verbal cryptic things. So I knew the police were involved as well. Right? So now you're watching a worldwide campaign. Yeah. You got your business partner saying they're using the system against you, and I'm working with the police to rid you of the world. So why didn't you go to the police? You have the police officers pulling you over and harassing you and doing these weird freaky things. So hey, why didn't you go to the police? Now it gets more obvious. I'm calling private investigators, and one of the private investigators says I'm a part-time police officer, and he's calling you and stalking you and getting mad that we were talking. Right? So now, hey, why didn't you go to the police?
Why wouldn't you then?
Now, eventually you build up enough cojones to go to the police with the hard drive of evidence.
Right. Like, what do you
knowing that they're probably not going to help you anyways.
But you're going to try.
But you're going to try, and they won't help you. And this is before you really understand what's going on.
Like,
but, yeah, so on every one of their arguments, it's all bullshit and doesn't make sense anyways. Because really, it's not about this or that. Did you fart? Did you blink? When you walked into the police station, did you comb your hair? Did you fart? Did you blink wrong? Did you yawn wrong? So we're not going to help you. The only thing matters is there's a crime being committed against you, and they need to do their damn job, but they won't. And so the real question is, why are they doing exactly what Greg just did there, or my family, or anyone else, avoiding a simple issue, right?
Avoiding, yeah, you're right.
What is it they have to hide? Right?
They don't want to talk about, well, his peers, like he does not want to talk about or acknowledge everything you just said about what happened, you know?
Correct.
Like they don't want
and
to
at first he's sort of
that.
saying like things like, we can talk deeper about this or that.
Later.
Like he's trying to get information to use against me, right? Like I think he did something to Jan. But when I first mentioned Jan, he said, hey, there's 2 kids in the back.
Yeah.
And they vary a little. I mean, it makes sense. You don't want your kids to hear it, but at the same time, it sounded a little strange because he flip-flopped. First, he said, "Hey, there's kids," and I said I could call back, and then all of a sudden, it's okay.
Right.
That's I'm sort of trying to accuse you of something, but I didn't get what I wanted.
Is that a security man?
Yeah.
I've seen so many.
Yeah. Well, I think some are official, some are unofficial.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah. So,
there's a lot here, though, yeah?
Yeah, well,
or is that just everywhere? I don't know.
Like, what happens is one kind of cruises around the whole TO mall, but when I get here, they ramp up all the mass groups and the security and the police and all that to try to thug and scare, intimidate, get reactions, and make it look like I'm somehow a public nuisance. But there's never any, like anything else, there's never any argument to what I've done that justifies these mass groups following me from place to place. Right?
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
No, I just noticed. So I was like, the third one I've noticed since.
So, I mean, that's pretty much all I have in note form, other than we had a conversation a couple weeks ago on video about the chair.
Yeah.
About the chair.
You made it, right?
About the chair in the University of Colorado painting class that I painted with the dragons and ice.
Yeah.
And we talked about the girl when I first got into studio photography. One of the first girls that wanted to either like follow my profile or want to do a photo shoot with me. Was sitting on the same chair, the retro 50s curvy chair that I painted the dragon scene on.
That's so cool.
Before I was really understanding what was going on, showing the connected information, the NSA level information dissemination from strangers worldwide, following you around, trying to spook you. I know this about you, I know that about you. Well, after our conversation a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
the next couple of days, one of the girls posted, I don't know if you can see this on camera, her sitting on the same chair after the video went online.
Really?
Yeah.
It was after. I didn't realize it was after that. I remember you telling me about it.
So here's the rub, so to speak. You can have that, whatever.
How about, do you want these?
You can have those too. The chair, even though I talk about the chair on video with Brittany, how did this girl know what the chair was? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, because I didn't even know.
So obviously she watched the video.
Right.
And she said, oh yeah, we were screwing with Kev, whatever, so let's do it again. A couple days after watching the video. But still, you have to question, how does she know that's the exact chair? When I was talking to you a couple weeks ago, I didn't show a picture of the chair.
No.
Okay, so now think about that. I'm off in Colorado. The internet's first coming around.
Right.
I join a painting class. I paint the chair. The world knows what the chair looks like. Think about that. Someone had to take a picture of the chair, upload it onto the internet, and show everyone the chair. For this person right here, and the person back 15 years ago, to know what the chair actually was.
Right. Because, okay, so for the people who say it's coincidence or whatever, just again, it's not just one incident.
Sure, hey, I watched the video, so I uploaded a retro chair. The same chair?
Right.
What are the chances?
Right, that's what. No, just because, I understand because it's not just one incident either,
Yeah.
It's over and over repeatedly.
It's 100,000 to a million per day, but the question is,
how
can you not admit it that something's going on that is out of the norm, yeah.
Or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, look, here's the reality. Either I'm like Tom Cruise and I make $50 million a year and I have billions of people lusting over me and some random crazy haters, a few random crazy haters, or I'm the opposite, but it can't be a little of this and a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't, you're intentionally creating this freaky situation that doesn't exist, right? Every person you're in contact with worldwide knows you, and they say they don't know you, and then they hint with their Spygate tactics that they know this and they know that, and their little repetitious mimic tactics and this and that. But then it's I don't know you, and then it's you don't talk or we kill you.
Right.
Right? Do you understand? It's not it's not someone paying you $50 million a year and you living in a huge mansion and going, I can't really associate with the common normies because I don't want to sit here and sign autographs every 10 minutes.
Right. No, it's different.
Right. It's something completely thought up and fabricated by people that are angry at you to put you in a position of terror that you can't defend yourself with. But if Tom Cruise would be sitting in this chair right now, people would walk up and say, you're Tom Cruise. I loved you in this movie. Or they might say, I don't like you. I think your movie sucked. Or they might say, Tom, you're a Scientologist and you're crazy or whatever.
Right.
But they wouldn't sit there with little ape grunting noises and color patterns following you around and freaky things like that in anger and rage, right?
No.
What would that chick do?
Turn all the way around the stair.
Oh.
It's just rude.
So you get the
She
idea
did that when she walked in.
Yeah. So that's why it's psychological warfare, because they're creating a situation which makes you crazy, which they're gonna say is paranoid.
That was not. I would have been no, it just irks me because I don't. It's what's the judgment, And just when she walked in as well, she was just turning around, walking, staring at us, and then now she's spun all the way around. I just don't appreciate that. It's just rude, right? Does that happen a lot?
No, usually it's the cryptic, they'll walk by right here and whistle 10.
So it's
within
more
a 10-foot radius, and then they'll be 50 per hour, And he'll keep saying, why are people whistling at me? And every single person will go, you're imagining it, you're crazy. And then they'll start whistling at you. And maybe I'll call my mother up on the phone and go, this is happening. She'll say, no, it isn't. Then she'll start whistling. Right?
So it's more like
It's you're imagining it, but I'm on their side and I'm helping them.
Right. So that was more straightforward, apparently.
Yeah, so that's a little more within the guidelines of normal. Like if someone walks by and goes, whatever. That doesn't bother me. It's the repetitious
It's the other
psychological
stuff.
warfare.
Okay, this stuff is not so
You know, if I pull into this parking lot and there's 50 cars and pairs of cars and twos backwards, and there's 2 gray Civics and 2 red Jeep Cherokees and 2 Jeep Rangers and they're in pairs backwards.
Right.
Okay, that just
It's
constantly
the
is
stuff that makes
taking
you-
turns every few seconds to try to break you into anger and rage.
I understand, like when you say it like that, because something like that you can see in your face, you probably appreciate that more so than like the passive like trauma.
Yeah, it's look, if
I
someone walks
totally
up to
get
me and they go, Kevin, you know, you're a piece of shit, and you know, you went to strip clubs and you associated with strippers and got lap dances. That doesn't bother me.
You'd be like,
I'd
thank
be
you
like,
for
you know,
acknowledging
I'd be
that.
like, if I could talk to the guy, I'd be like, I'm sorry that you don't understand my lifestyle, but it's really none of your business. And
You'd appreciate that.
I'm sorry that you're
probably.
mad about things that have nothing to do with you.
Right.
And that would be it. You'd be done. But if you have 100 people per hour walk by you whistling at you at every place you go in the world,
Let's say that they're
you
wrong.
can't say anything back to them. And if you say anything back, you go, I don't know you.
But then if the other thing or whatever, you can have a conversation with that person. It's like addressed directly, you know? Like you
Even
were
if you don't
saying.
have a conversation, it's laughable.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I'm saying.
laughable
It's
because
nice,
someone's
though.
so insecure in themselves that
And
they're
the
mad at you.
content, yeah, the content isn't like as wrong, like what he's saying or whatever. It's like, okay, at least for me, at least you're being direct with me and real instead of like trying to make me feel crazy, you know?
And that's the difference, is when you have friends, they talk to you and they're direct. Look, if you, I've heard this within moderation bullshit for 18 years now, just pure craziness. Kevin, within moderation, so we're going to genetic kill you. Well, what the fuck? You went to too many strip clubs. Okay, well, you know what? If once again, just like the Greg Waugh thing, if my friends think, well, Kevin, you went to too many strip clubs, why can't they just say, Kevin, you know, it's kind of weird that you go so much, and that's what friends do. They don't sit there and
No, exactly.
like Mike Huntley after 15 years, well, you built an alt website, didn't you? And I'm hunting you down with the police and government and worldwide support to kill you. Okay, that is strange. No,
It is.
there's no in between communication. There's just
It's
you're a
very
dead man,
odd,
right? It's your behavior. You're a dead man. What behavior? Nothing.
They
That's
don't
it.
tell
There's
you.
no conversation.
It leaves, yeah. That's
And then you
much
start
worse.
finding out that my behavior is actually things that don't exist,
Right.
or things that don't matter.
You just got these letters?
Which
June
is-
4th. This season.
Oh, this is important.
I didn't see that.
This is the Internal Affairs investigation letter stating, now look at that guy parking backwards here. Okay, stating that they've dropped the investigation.
On.
They've done an extensive investigation on, first of all, the context is I've been sending emails and videos, just like the ones that Brittany's seen,
Yeah.
to Internal Affairs for years, way before even seeing Brittany.
Right.
They just can't see anything that's going on.
Right.
This one is specifically about Officer Lee and the bald guy that attacked me. Officer Lee stating that the police aren't, LAPD is not obligated to help me.
Serious? Sorry, because I saw that video and that's
Yeah,
okay.
so she's seen the video. She's seen Officer Lee basically saying, I'm not going to help you. Okay, but more importantly, this is an internal affairs investigation saying nothing happened. They can't find anything. Officer Lee was wearing a body cam. It's all on video. Not only my video, but Officer Lee has the video, LAPD video, which can be subpoenaed in court.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
I saw your slash tires. I saw all these things, and they're saying that.
Speak up.
Oh, I was just saying I've seen all the damage on your car, and in this they're saying that like the tire damage and everything's been classified as unfounded. It's just like it was very clear that like somebody did that to your vehicle.
Yeah. The cat shit on the car with
Like,
Merry
you're
Christmas
not gonna
on
do that
it.
to
I mean,
yourself. Like,
yeah.
come on now. So the investigation determined that absolutely.
But more importantly, Officer Lee stating we're not obligated to help you, but letting the perp go is all on Officer Lee's body camera.
So your allegation that an employee failed to provide you with copies of reports has been classified as non-disciplinary, no misconduct, which means that the act alleged did not rise to the level of misconduct in the name of those actions were protected by law. Wow. You just got this too.
Yeah.
It's like,
But they've been holding, they open these investigations and they don't want. They
Right.
hold on to them and they don't do anything and they wait for the right. Oh, by the way, this was on the 4th.
right. What's the fourth? Is that the
4th
voting
is
day?
the voting day for City Council for Sean Dinsey.
Okay.
Did you find that interesting?
Yeah.
After the elections just came.
Really? Did he win?
I don't know. I don't think he did, but I don't know.
What is this one? Is this just talking about the appeal?
No, remember last week I told you that on the court docket there was some weird thing about elections? I was looking that up. Let me see that for a
Sorry.
second. It just came out of nowhere on the court docket. It says June 20th. Collections.
Yeah, what was that?
Where is it? Section 987.8. Remember, I'm not a lawyer here. I'm just looking things up off the net. Section 987.8 states if you have a public defending attorney,
Right.
first of all, Seymour's not a public defender. He's a private attorney.
Yeah.
And he's been paid shitloads.
Yeah.
15,000 for me alone and probably a shitload more for my family.
Right.
If you're a public defender and your client is found not guilty, goes to jail, and the court thinks that they could have afforded to pay an attorney, they can force charges.
Seriously?
Yeah, if someone thinks that route.
That's crazy.
By the way, in all black right there. If someone thinks that, if someone in the judicial system says, I think they can afford a lawyer,
But they get a public
and you're
defender.
convicted, we want you to pay for the lawyer's charges. And it gets into all sorts of methods of trying to
But why would
go
that
after
be?
people's properties or
That
whatever.
doesn't make any sense for your case, though. at
Correct,
all.
it doesn't. So now you have to sort of question why that's appearing on the court docket.
Makes no sense.
Not only that, but in the beginning my family was trying to trick me into seeing public defenders.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would they
All
do
the attorneys wouldn't help me, and they kept trying to trick me into seeing public defenders. And then my family sends in this guy, Steve Freeman, and he says he was once a public defender, trying to trick me into seeing public defenders.
And have to go
And now all of a sudden this weird thing about public defenders shows up on the court docket for collections. Like they're trying to make me look crazy. So some rich guy went to a public defender.
Right,
He's
so
crazy and he thinks differently. Something weird like that.
That
I can't
doesn't
tell you
make any
specifically
sense.
what. Although today, getting the court docket at the Van Nuys courthouse said something that it could be in relation to the civil case and them getting evidence from the criminal case to the civil case. But I don't think so. I think those might be cover-ups on paper or something.
I have no idea.
I can't tell you because I'm not a lawyer. It's strange.
It is. That is weird.
Yeah. So.
Can I keep this?
Yeah. Take that.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So
Sorry.
she's going pee. So we're gonna pause this.
We have to go. I'm just kidding. I was still sorry.
Okay. So we're going to end this, and Brittany's gotta go, and so. This one I think is a little shorter than normal, but I just wanted to get the Greg Waugh and what Brittany's thoughts on Greg were, how he's not my friend, he's not there for me, it appears he was never there for me, he's not my friend, and that's pretty much it. Until next conversation, and that's it. And any last words, or?
I don't even know what to say right now. Just be honest, be truthful, do the right thing. Honestly, like if you're do the right thing, be a good person.
I mean,
that's all
that's
I
a
have to
given.
say.
Do the right thing, be a good person. But things about my situation? Or
Oh, sorry. Well, clearly, like, I could see that he didn't want to. You okay?
yeah, just water in my eye.
Acknowledge what was going on, and he tried to avoid it. Was very vague and talked around it, you know.
Yeah.
And so,
So does this guy sound like my friend?
that makes me sad to say that. But you know, like, no, because you've known him for so long.
Yeah.
But he didn't even acknowledge, like, yeah, man. This is man.
Yeah. He
Like,
sounded angry at me, right?
Right, but he should have. I mean, I would have been like, "Thank you so much for doing that." Like, you saved my ass.
Yeah.
You know, like he didn't acknowledge that.
Yeah.
So that's upsetting.
And that's where things all fall apart. And that's not just with Greg. It's from person to person to person to person
Right.
to straight pants or vertical straight pants. And okay, so we'll end it there. And until next conversation and topic, I don't know what that will be.